As Frank Castle's own personal war against the followers of Ares continues to heat up, take a trip back in time and learn the new origins of the Punisher persona. All this and more in the pages of Punisher issue number 3. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? So then, as we join the book proper, Frank Castle is leading his army of hand ninjas into battle against the forces of Hydra. Once again, narration duty is handled by the archpriestess of the hand. She says that in the beginning, God created man, but man quickly superseded God in the deadly arts. And perhaps there is no greater exemplar of this fact than Frank Castle the Punisher, a man who long ago mastered the art of killing greater than any man who had ever come before him. The archpriestess believes this is because Frank Castle at a very young age was anointed by the beast, the hand's unholy god of death and destruction. But believe it or not, the archpriestess says that she didn't want Frank Castle to be their brand new high slayer, their leader, just because she thought he was especially good at killing. It seems that she actively wanted the hand ninjas to learn from Frank. Frank is slightly confused by this question, saying what exactly do they want to know? How to shoot a Skrull in a place that won't grow back? How to fight a man who can fly? Or even how to butcher a Hydra Nazi like he's doing right now? No, that's apparently not what the crowd of red-clad ninjas wants to hear at the moment. Instead, they want to hear the story of Frank Castle's first kill, the moment that the Punisher was truly born. And to tell that story, we're treated to yet another flashback to young Frank Castle. Now, I had complained in the previous issue that I felt this story didn't necessarily need any flashbacks, and that's because, as far as I'm concerned, the best Punisher origin story already exists. It's called Born. It just happens to be out of continuity. Well, here Aaron gives us a brand new in-canon origin story for the Punisher, one that actually draws a ton of reference from another Garth Ennis prequel story called The Tiger. We see a young Frank Castle in New York shooting bottles with his BB gun when he ends up becoming witness to a brutal slaying of a young couple at the hands of a local connected mafioso. No one exactly knows why the couple was murdered, but what Frank knows for sure is that everyone on the block heard and no one bothered to do anything about it. They all turned a blind eye and let injustice happen. If that sounds familiar to you, it should, because it's very similar to the very real New York slaying of Kitty Genovese. Read up on that if you want. This moment would end up having a fundamental effect on young Frank Castle. He just couldn't take that something this horrible could happen so close to home. It's at that moment a voice started screaming in his head, and the only way he thought about quieting it would be to punish the person responsible for it. It was very easy for Frank to get the tools he needed to get the job done. After all, people in the neighborhood stopped paying him any mind a long time ago. Other kids were scared of little Frank, and Frank long ago had stopped trying to tell people what he was really thinking. How does the proto-Punisher choose to end the life of this mafioso? Well, he goes full Home Alone on him by dumping a bucket of diesel on him and then setting him on fire with a hairspray flamethrower. And once again, everyone in the neighborhood heard this guy's screams, and yet no one did anything about it. No one even ever thought that Frank could possibly be responsible, and well, he's been killing people ever since, but not nearly enough, he says. A fact of which makes the archpriestess and all the other ninjas basically frickin' swoon at the idea that this guy is their leader. It's around here too Frank gets done taking apart the Hydra grunt. Even though this dude took the torture and never actually said anything, it seems that Frank knows exactly what he was thinking. Just chop this up to yet another power offered to him by the beast. Turns out this Hydra cell was also supplied with deadly weapons of mass destruction by the followers of Ares, meaning that Frank has yet another reason to go and pay these guys a visit. Before he can scramble his troops though, the archpriestess offers Frank a real King Solomon-style dilemma: two feuding ninjas who had taken out their anger on other people. Frank hears their case and then ends up killing both. The way he sees it, everyone in the hand is a murderer already, but they're not going to kill without his say-so. They're going to be bullets in his gun from now on. This is actually the first thing that Frank has said that seemingly makes the archpriestess a little uncertain, as murder is the hand's most holy sacrament and the Punisher wants to control how and when they can do it. Before Frank can take off on his next mission though, he ends up hearing that his wife needs him out in the garden. She's seemingly escaped her bonds and is now all manner of confused. In an actually pretty sad twist, she thinks that they just left their two children at the park and that they need to go get them. Oh, that's rough, and it also means that Frank is going to be staying behind and sending his hand ninjas to go deal with Ares. As you might have guessed, it does not go well for the rank-and-file ninja, as the god of war literally takes them apart with his bare hands. Furthermore, he's insulted that the Punisher would just send goons. Meaning that this war between the followers of Ares and the Hand just went from strictly professional to totally personal. Now, after everything that happened with his wife, Frank is quite troubled, and it's here that the Archpriestess swoops on in once again to try and comfort him by saying that if Frank wants something, he needs only ask the Beast for it. After all, the Beast is the anti-god, where one created life and beauty, the other one created death and destruction. But that also extends to those who were dead already. The Beast can have them rise once again if only the Punisher wills it. And why yes, as the comic comes to a close, that does indeed include his 2 children. And so that was Punisher issue 3, everybody, and once again, this new Aaron series had me walking away liking it a lot more than I thought I would. Even the flashback stuff, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way in the previous issue, I'm starting to warm up to. Probably in no small part because there was a lot of what had to be direct reference to the tiger. I mean, seriously, a man on fire, a graveyard. Yes, a lot of the particulars got moved around, but still, I think the core of what they were trying to get across there is ultimately the same. The Punisher was always inside Frank Castle, he just didn't know about it until it was too late. And perhaps that darkness, that thing that ate away at young Frank and made him totally okay with killing people, maybe that thing was always meant to be the Beast of the Hand. Again, though, the real mystery and the thing that keeps me coming back to this story is that we have still yet to actually hear from Frank's own internal monologue. We don't really know how he's feeling. He's playing everything very close to the chest. Is he using the Hand, or is the Hand using him? Was he okay with the priest bringing back his wife if it meant that Frank could get closer to the Hand, maybe take them down from the inside, or use their resources to do more punishing on a global scale, and maybe now if he has his children be reborn, that's going a step too far that he can't go back from? I don't know. Overall, I think I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. It's a strong issue and one that I think really solidifies this series as a fun action blockbuster for the summer season.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.